Joining me now as we meet all of the mayoral candidates running for mayor in Wichita is Julie Rose Stroud, one of the 9 candidates on the ballot. Julie, thank you for joining us. Let's start with your priorities. Should you be elected mayor? What do you see as some of the biggest issues affecting Wichita?
I believe Wichita has an issue with their culture, and I believe that we need to establish an environment where we support one another, where we encourage one another to be the best that they can be, and where issues are brought up, and an environment where it's okay to talk about things, and it's okay to bring things up and have discussions about them before they become bigger issues down the line. And we have an issue with the fentanyl crisis. We need to be more preventative. I believe that we need to utilize our resources. And what I mean by that is we should establish partnerships with the public school system, with the small businesses. We should work with our county. We should work with our state. When we have the same goal, we should work together more so we can be more efficient together, because we all want to make our environment the best it can be for everyone.
Can you tell us a little about your background? What qualifies you to be mayor in your eyes?
I was born here in Wichita, Kansas, so I've spent 32 years here. I've worked for over 15 years in the state. I have seen many different levels, socioeconomic levels throughout the city. I can empathize with many different individuals just based upon my experience here within the city. Professionally, I went from a janitor, and I've worked fast food service. I've been a waitress. I'm a mechanic. I've obtained a lot of different skills, and those all came from when I'm faced with a problem, when I'm faced with something that needs to, when a solution needs to be found, that I work and I don't give up, and I stay determined, and I am tenacious, and if I need help, I seek help. I find individuals who are the best skilled at helping me get to where I need to go, work together to solve the common problems.
Let's talk about finding solutions to some of the problems affecting Wichita. With every candidate, we've talked about policing. The police department is short. Dozens of officers. Recruiting and retainment has become a big issue. What's your stance on public safety, and what would you do to solve some of the problems with crime?
I would really I would spend more time with the police department as a whole, so I can understand how the functionality of the department works and get to know the officers one-on-one and establish a trust between myself and them, so that I can effectively make a plan to ensure that the officers are working together towards the same goal.
Do you support more pay for them?
Do I support more pay for them? I support when you say pay, I wouldn't necessarily more pay. I support ensuring that they are paid adequately for the work that they do perform. And I do believe that they should receive mental health services. And we should ensure as a community that, especially with the rise of crime and the situations happening with drugs and a lot of the other situations that are causing a higher need for police to show up to crimes and such, right? So your question was?
Do you support more pay for officers?
I believe that I see the budget that's been for the officers, and I see the amount of officers that are there. But until I would actually look into and sit down with an officer and look at the work that the officer does, I would not be able to answer that question.
Okay. So you don't know on that. On economic development, what plans would you have to bring more business to Wichita?
I would want to work with the Wichita public school system, and I want to make sure that our students and our young adults are aware of the opportunities that are here in the city of Wichita, and I want to inspire them to go into business, that is an option, and these are the ways that you can get there. And I would also, I want to utilize some of the places that are not downtown, that are either abandoned or not utilized, and use some of the federal grants out there for lower socioeconomic areas and helping revitalize those areas.
Let's talk about downtown specifically. Where do you stand on Century 2? Remodel versus complete rebuild or a new building? Convention space, performing arts?
Go ahead.
What would be your plan with that?
I think there needs to be another opinion on the engineering aspects that were done. And it's been a while since I reviewed the document, but we should have multiple quotes in terms of ensuring that Century 2 is in a place that will promote the best economic.
Do you support keeping Century 2?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I love Century 2. I grew up right downtown
so you would
next to
support
the river.
some form of remodel of Century 2?
Some form of remodeling of Century 2 that was appropriate. I feel that putting a whole bunch of money to make it look better, it could have some. Then more people may be interested in putting on events there, but I don't see a lot of problems with what it is now.
Okay. Then what about convention space?
Convention space in terms of increasing that?
Do you think we need more convention space? Do you think our convention center is to where it needs to be?
I think there's always room for improvements.
And you would support that? How would you pay for it if you brought in new convention space?
So I would not say that I would support anything until I actually read all of the details. Okay. And I understand.
Do you see any places in the city that have waste right now? Do you see places that money is being wasted in the city budget?
So when I worked for the city of Wichita in the drinking water laboratory, towards the end of the fiscal year, there would be a lot of there would be meetings where we got to spend this money. We got to spend this money, because if we don't spend this money, then the next term they're going to give us less. And so I think that, and then also with the contract services, we spend a lot of money in IT. We spend a lot of money on building rentals and renting equipment. We spent, and so we spend a large amount in our contracted services. And I think that if we combined our resources and work together as a team, we can lower that cost.
We've got about 30 seconds left. What have I not touched on, or any closing thoughts that you have that you want voters to know?
So I'm an environmental health and safety professional. I have worked for the federal, state, and local government levels. But most importantly, I grew up right here in the city of Wichita, Kansas. I understand the challenges that they all face, and I am for the people, and I want to promote the encouraging and supporting other people to be the best they can, and I believe in prevention before anything else.
Okay, Julie Rose Stroud, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.